Good morning, Veritas All-Stars. I hope everybody had a nice April vacation. I know it was a little bit shorter this year, but I hope you enjoyed your 3 days off. But let's get started with this problem. Today I scribbled out a few times because we weren't sure when April vacation was going to be, but we returned on Thursday, April 23rd. That is this lesson, 2020. So get yourself ready for this problem. Pause it here and try it on your own, or actually it's on your Google Classroom. So please make sure you have tried this on your own before we go over the answers now. Okay, so here we go. Mr. Spracklin bought 3 Big Macs at McDonald's for $2.99 each. He also bought 2 large French fries for $3.24 each. Then he bought 4 apple pies to bring home for $1.67 each. Part A says, what's the total cost of all of the items he bought? And part B says, Mr. Spracklin paid the cashier with a $100 bill. How much change did he get back? I must be making lots of money. I got a $100 bill in my pocket. That's not normal. But here we go. Let's get started. Number 1. So I started over here with, I just made like a little chart here. I recommend you to do this to organize your work. We bought Big Macs. I bought French fries, and I also bought some pies. So I bought 3 Big Macs, it says. I bought 2 large French fries, and I bought 4 pies to bring home. So now, it says, let's go back to the problem, and we'll just annotate it for the important information. Mr. Spracklin bought 3 Big Macs, like I said, 3, for $2.99 each. 3 Big Macs, $2.99 each. So before I go any further, I bought 3 Big Macs times 2.99. We'll find out how much that is on Big Macs. Let's go to the next one. He also bought 2 large French fries, so I got 2 for $3.24 each. So 2 times $3.24, or 3.24, will tell us how much I spent on those 2 large French fries. Then I bought 4 apple pies to bring home for $1.67 each. So if I bought 4 of them, and they were $1.67 each, I'm going to do 4 times $1.67 to find out how much the pies cost. Okay? So let's start up again the Big Macs. 3 times $2.99. So we're going to do 2.99 times 3. You're going to put the 3 not under the ones place. You're going to put it under the hundredths place in this situation. But when we're doing 2.99, we're multiplying a decimal times a whole number. You're going to ignore the decimal point for now. We are going to pretend like this is 299 times 3. Then at the end, since there are 2 numbers behind the decimal point, we are going to move our decimal point 2 places over so that there's 2 digits behind the decimal point in our final answer. Okay, so first step is going to be ignore the decimal point, and we're doing 299 times 3. Okay, so 3 times 9, if we had, this is supposed to be 9 ones times 3. So 9 times 3 is 27. Then we do 9 times 3 is 27, plus the 2 that we just carried, because we carried 2 tens over to the tens place. Because remember, we're ignoring that. That's 2 hundreds, 9 tens, and 9 ones. So I'm going to keep saying the wrong place because we're ignoring the decimal point, and we're doing it as if it's 299. So 3 times 9 is 27, plus the 2 we carried makes 29. So write the 9 and carry the 20 over to the what we're using as the hundreds place. And then 3 times 200 is 600, plus the 200s we carried over here makes 800. Or 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So now we have 897, but since it wasn't really 299, it was $2.99. We look at the numbers we multiplied. There are 2 digits behind the place, behind the decimal point. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to put our answer so that there's 2 digits behind the decimal point. And that's where the decimal point is going to go. Okay, so you count how many total digits are behind the decimal points. There are none here. If there was 1 here, we'd have to include that too. But there are none behind the decimal point here, and there are 2 behind the decimal point here. So we're just going to have to move it 2 places, and the answer is $8.97. Okay? And then I'm just gonna like check, does that make sense? Is that a reasonable answer, or did I mess up moving the decimal point? So $2.99 is about $3. So $3 times 3 would be about $9. And this is $8.97. It is about $9. So we checked, and this is a reasonable answer because about $3 times 3 would be about $9. It'd be just a little less, and that's what we have here. So that is a reasonable answer for the Big Macs. So Big Macs cost me $8.97, but that's not the answer because that's just for the Big Macs. Now we're going to do the same thing here for the French fries. $3.24 each times I bought 2 of the French fries. Okay, so we are going to ignore the decimal point to start. It's 324 times 2. That's all we're going to do right now. Then at the end, we're going to move the decimal point to make up for these 2 that are behind the decimal point. All right, so 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6. So if we did 324 times 2, we'd get 648. But we didn't do 324 times 2. We have to now move the decimal point back 2 spots to make it $3.24 times 2. So I'm going to count up how many are behind the decimal point. There are 2, so we're going to make it so that there are 2 behind the decimal point. And the decimal point is going to go there, $6.48. Now let's again just check if that's reasonable. 324 is a little more than $3, but we can say that's about $3 times 2, which would be about $6. It will be a little more than $6 because this is a little more than $3. But that's about 3 times 2, which should be a little more than 6. So that is, again, I just check it real quickly to make sure that I didn't end up with $64 because that wouldn't be reasonable if it was $3 times 2. So you just have to check one more time when you're done with these because there's decimals and it can be a little bit tricky, the placement of where the decimal point goes. But we checked it, it's reasonable, so 6.48 or $6.48 is how much I spent on French fries. Now let's make some space for the pies. 4 pies for $1.67 each. So I'm doing 1.67 times 4 of them. Okay, and again, we're gonna ignore the decimal point. We're doing 167 times 4 to start. Okay? So we're going to start here. We're going to multiply. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry the 2. 4 times 6 is 24. Plus the 2 we carried makes 26. So you add the one you carried. So 24 plus the 2 that we carried makes 26. Going to carry the 20. And then 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 2 makes 6. So if we did 167 times 4, we'd get 668. But since this is really $1.67, we're going to have to move it. 2 places are behind the decimal point. There are none behind the decimal point here, so we just need to move it a total of 2 places so that there are 2 digits behind the decimal point. And it belongs there. So $6.68 is how much I spent on the pies. And let's just check. 167 is actually closer to $2 than it is to $1. Okay, so $2 times 4 should be about $8, but since it's less than $2 here, it's really $1.67. So we know our answer is going to be less than $8, which it is. So this is a reasonable answer. Again, a little further away because we estimated a little further. We called this 2 when it's really, 33 cents away from being 2. Okay, so that's why it's a little less than what we estimated, as 2 times 4 is 8. It's going to be less than that because this is a little further than 2 than we would have liked. Okay, but there it is. It's $6.68 for the pie. So let me just make sure I have them right. $8.97, $6.48, and $6.68. Now I have the price of those 3, and now to find the total cost of all of the items, I'm going to have to add up the total costs of those items. So $8.97 plus $6.48 plus $6.68. And we are adding them to find the total cost of all of the items. Okay, so our decimal point's going to go here. We have all our ones lined up, all of our tenths lined up, and all of our hundredths lined up. And then you just put the decimal place here, and we're going to just do the addition like normal. So 8 16. 8 more would be 24, so that's 23. Carry the 20. 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 4 is 15, plus 6 is 21. Put the 1, carry the 20. Now let's see, how can I do this? 8 plus 2 is 10, 16, and 16 plus 6 is 22. So the answer is $22.13. And that's how much I spent altogether. So that's about $9, that's about $7, and we'll call that about $6. So about 9 plus 7 plus 6, our answer should be about 16 plus 6, it should be about 22. Just checking that I didn't make any mistakes. So if our answer should have been just estimated, that's about $9. That's about, this one's about $7, and this one's about $6. So I just added those up, and our answer should be about $22, which it is. So $22.13 is the answer for part A. Give yourself some snaps if you got that. That was pretty complicated. It took me 11 minutes to show you how to do it, so nice work. And now let's go to part B. I'm gonna give myself plenty of space over here. And it says, part B, Mr. Spracklin paid the cashier with a $100 bill. That is unlikely, but that's what it says. How much change did he get back? So I bought $22.13 worth of food. I paid with a $100 bill. So I started with $100. I'm going to put a decimal point, and I'm going to put a 0 in the 10th place and a 0 in the 100th place, because we know we're going to have to be subtracting some change here. And I'm going to subtract because I spent that money. I spent $22.13. So 20 needs to go in the 10s place. 2 needs to go in the 1s place, and 13 cents would be 1/10 and 13 hundredths, right? Or a dime and 3 pennies. Okay, when we're subtracting, we're going to keep our decimal point here. Okay, lots of zeros, so you should be extra careful with these. You can't do 0 minus 3. If I had 0 hundredths, I can't take 3 hundredths away. So what we're going to do is go across all the zeros until we get to a whole number. We're going to take 1 away from the whole number. We're going to add 10 to the original one. And all of these ones we had to go across are going to become 9s. Okay? All we're doing is borrowing. Okay, you couldn't do 0 minus 3. So we were going to go borrow from a 0, but you can't borrow from 0. You don't have any to borrow, right? So if we can't really borrow from there, so we're going to keep going. Can't borrow from there. Keep going. Can't borrow from there, but we can borrow from here. And these are going to become 9s because we're going to add the 10 over to here. All right? So this is probably, if you made a mistake on this, you probably mixed up subtracting across the 9s. Because now this 9 is in the 10s place. That's $90. That's $9. That's 90 cents. And then that's 10 hundredths. That's 10 more cents. And if you add up $99.90 plus 10 cents, that's going to equal $100. So all we're doing is trading, and we're keeping this. This still has a value of $100. We just traded so that we can subtract. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 1 is 8. There's our decimal point. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. So $77.87 is how much change that I'm going to get back from the cashier. $77.87. Okay, now I'm just going to check real quickly. This is hard subtraction, so I'm going to add these two to make sure it gets back to 100. So if I add the two numbers I subtracted, the number I subtracted and the answer, if we add those, we should get back to 100. And that's just our last step. And since that subtracting across 0 is complicated and it's easy to make a little mistake, we're going to check that we didn't make any mistakes. So $77.87 plus the $22.13 that I spent, right? That's my change I got back. That's how much I spent. So my change and how much I spent should go back to the $100 that I started with. Put your decimal point here. 7 plus 3 is 10. That's a good start because we have a 0. 8 plus 2 is 10. That's another good start. 7 plus 3 is 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. And we end up back with the $100 we spent. So we know that $77.87 was the correct answer for how much change I got, and $22.13 is the correct answer for how much the total cost of all the items I spent. Give yourself some snaps. Those are pretty tough. Lots of steps, right? Really not super challenging. This is pretty hard. Not super challenging, but you need to just be real careful. So if you messed up somewhere along here, I recommend you make yourself a little chart. I bought Big Macs. How many of them for how much? Solve. French fries. How many of them? How much? Solve. Pies. How many? How much each? Solve. Then you added those three numbers together. So there were lots of steps. So if you didn't get this right, I want you to check carefully. Where did you make your mistake? Might have been a simple addition or subtraction mistake, and that's what I would like you to check for yourself. And that's it, everybody. Have a great day. See you later, All-Stars.